Hi, I'm Tom. This is Mina, and this is Kitty Help Desk. So today I wanted to talk to you a little bit about cat hair. Cat hairs are very similar to human hairs, and I'm talking about the hairs on their bodies, not their whiskers, which are a kind of hair, but not the type we're talking about today. I'm talking about their fur, basically, and those hairs on their bodies are very similar to human hairs, with one big exception, and that is that they have a limit as to how long that they'll grow. Whereas human hair will continue to grow forever, if you were to let it. Cat hairs are kind of like the hairs on our arms or on our bodies. They have a limit as to how long they'll grow. And once they reach that limit, they will fall out, get shed, and get replaced by other hairs. And that's sort of the reason why we have so much cat hair around the house, is because it's a perpetual cycle of some of the hairs being in this shedding phase and others not. Now throughout the year, that's going to vary a little bit by season, and that's all triggered by the amount of daylight each day gets. So the length of the day is going to trigger this extra shedding or the extra bulking up of the coat. The thing is that there's a couple of things that we need to look at when we look at shedding beyond sort of what's normal shedding that happens seasonally and year-round. And we can use this information to gain clues about our cat's behavior issues based on when excess shedding happens, or when there isn't any excess shedding. Now, the mechanism by which cats go into pilar erection, which is when all the hairs stand up, like a Halloween cat, when they get scared or super stressed out, and all their hairs stand on end. That mechanism is created by adrenaline in their system. It basically triggers the erector pili muscles to contract, and when they contract, they push out the telogen hairs that are in this dormant phase. Now, hairs don't all grow all the time. Just like human hairs, they will have a dormant phase. And during the dormant phase, they're not as well rooted. And so when those erector pili muscles contract, they force those hairs out. So when a cat has been extremely frightened, or extremely stressed out or agitated, they're going to see a tremendous amount of shedding. You'll see it either all over the floor, all over them. In addition to that, you'll probably see a lot of dandruff, because that mechanism pushes a lot of the dead skin cells off the surface at the same time. So if you see your cat has a lot of extra shedding kind of out of the blue, or a lot of dandruff and stuff out of the blue that's not sort of normal for them, then you know that they've probably had some sort of stressful situation, and it might be worth looking into. Or if they have some sort of behavior issue, this is one clue that we can use. Have you noticed excess shedding? When did you notice it, and what was the situation? That we can learn sort of their mental state. It's just another tool. It's another window into what they're feeling, since they can't really tell us. Something else I'd like to mention is just the necessity of brushing your cat on a regular basis, if they'll tolerate it. Some cats really don't like the sensation. I recommend using a soft brush with stiff bristles, but that's soft to the touch. So it usually has the ends of the bristles are sort of softened. I have had a terrible time finding good brushes in cat care sections, and usually end up in either dog care sections or human hairbrush sections in order to find an adequate brush. This one was a dog brush that I found some years ago at Petco, and it works great, and both the cats really love it. And because the bristles are stiff but soft, they like to rub their faces on it and sort of scent mark it, and that helps make them accept it even more. I usually try to brush them at least once a week. But again, it's kind of up to them. If they don't want to sit with it, it's better to let them, get in a couple of good brushes and let it go. That's much better than sort of forcing it upon them and having them really learn to dislike it. If you can afford a robot vacuum, that's the #1 best tool that I've found for just sort of managing cat hair. I've used Swiffers in the past. I don't particularly like the disposable nature of that so much, but those are really good. Those work pretty well. But the robot vacuum, man, I don't know how I ever lived without one, because I can set it loose for 30 minutes and it comes back just loaded with cat hair. And I don't see the wads of cat hair wafting in the breeze anymore. Another really good tip to remove cat hair from like clothing and furniture, fabric on furniture, is to use latex or nitrile gloves to sort of gather up the cat hair. You can basically just take a glove like this, or like these sort of dishwashing gloves, and all you really have to do is put it on. And if you have a surface like this that has some cat hair on it, you just rub it on there and the cat hair wads up and it doesn't stick to the glove. So that makes it really easy to pick this up on any fabric surfaces. I use this sort of method on furniture a lot, because it's amazing how much this stuff will accumulate and you don't really notice it until it's gotten really bad. Thanks for watching. I appreciate you spending some time with me, and I'll see you next time. Thanks. Bye.